I found out about the party from a photo someone else posted. My mother standing in a kitchen I'd walked through in drywall dust 3 months earlier. My father lifting a glass of champagne beneath recessed lighting I had paid to install. The caption read, "Finally ours." There was a warmth to the picture. Friends gathered around the island. A cheese board. My parents glowing in that way people do when they feel they've arrived somewhere permanent. I zoomed in on the background without meaning to. The hardwood floors, the staircase railing, the small chip on the third step that I'd noticed during inspection. It was my house. Legally, entirely mine. I didn't call them right away. That would have been my old reflex. Immediate clarification, soft voice, reassurance that I wasn't upset. But I wasn't sure what I was exactly. It wasn't fury, it was something flatter. Like discovering you'd been edited out of your own biography. The arrangement had been simple. They'd found the house. They couldn't qualify for the mortgage. I could. We told ourselves it was temporary. A stepping stone. My name would be on the deed for now. They would take over eventually. I signed because it felt easier than saying no. 3 months later, there was a housewarming party I hadn't been invited to. I drove over without rehearsing a speech. I didn't even know if I would go inside. I just wanted to stand in front of it and see if it felt different. It did. Cars lined the curb. Laughter spilled through the open front windows. The porch light cast that warm, welcoming glow people use in real estate photos. When I walked in, no one stopped me. Why would they? I was family. A few guests nodded politely, trying to place me. My mother saw me first. Her smile flickered. Surprise quickly reshaped into hospitality. "Oh, you came!" I waited for the follow-up. There wasn't one. "I was in the neighborhood," I said. It wasn't true, but it felt like a harmless lie. My father appeared from the hallway, wine in hand. His posture tightened, but only slightly. He clapped my shoulder like I'd shown up early to something I'd misunderstood. "Good to see you," he said. The kitchen looked different, finished and staged. The same cabinets I'd initialed in a showroom now held crystal glasses. The island where I'd reviewed closing documents held brie and olives. I wandered toward the hallway, not to snoop, just to breathe. That's when I heard him. My father's voice, lower, relaxed in the way people speak when they assume privacy. "Well, what's done is done. You bought it, but it's ours now." A soft chuckle followed, not cruel. Casual. The words landed heavier because of that. Not defiance, not gratitude either. Just assumption. I stood there longer than necessary, waiting for something inside me to ignite. It didn't. Instead, there was a quiet click, like a lock turning from the inside. I walked back into the kitchen. My mother intercepted me near the small office off the hallway, the room I'd intended as a study when I'd toured the property. "Oh, that room's a bit messy," she said lightly, positioning herself between me and the doorway. "We're hosting tonight. We're hosting, not we, just them." "I know," I said. "I won't stay long." She searched my face for irritation she could manage. I didn't give her any. The thing is, I hadn't come entirely unprepared. A week earlier, when I saw the listing photo framed on their mantel, the one with the caption about permanence, I'd called Daniel, the property attorney who handled the purchase, not angrily, logistically. "What happens," I'd asked, "if occupants start presenting ownership publicly?" He hadn't laughed. "Lawyers rarely do. Nothing happens automatically," he'd said. "But clarity is always better than assumption." So before driving over, I'd texted him. "Are you available for a brief call this evening?" He'd replied yes. I set my glass down on the island. "Dad," I said, not loudly. Just enough to fold him into the room's awareness. "Quick question." He looked up. "For insurance purposes, are you planning to formalize occupancy, or are we still keeping it informal?" The word insurance has a way of quieting a room. He blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean liability. If someone slips tonight, it's technically on me." A few guests shifted subtly. My mother laughed too brightly. "Oh, don't be dramatic. I didn't raise my voice. I'm not. I just need to know if we're signing a lease." Silence moved differently now. It wasn't festive. My father set his glass down more carefully than necessary. This isn't the time. It actually is, I said, because you're presenting this as your property. His jaw tightened. It is our home. Yes, I said gently, but it's my asset. I pulled my phone from my pocket and placed it on speaker. Daniel answered on the second ring. I kept it simple. Could you clarify current ownership of the property on Maple Ridge? He didn't hesitate. The property is titled solely in your name. Any long-term occupancy without written agreement could create complications, but as of now, you retain full control. His tone was clinical, neutral, unmistakable. No one spoke while he did. Thank you, I said, and ended the call. There was no explosion, no accusations, just a visible recalibration. My mother's shoulders lowered slightly, like she'd misjudged the weight of something. My father didn't look angry. He looked caught off guard, not by hostility, but by documentation. I'm not evicting anyone, I said. I never intended to. But if we're going to keep doing this, it needs structure. For my jacket, I took out a thin folder and placed it on the island. A standard lease agreement. Below market rent. Clear terms. Maintenance responsibilities defined. Fair. I hadn't written it to punish them. I'd written it to protect myself from disappearing. You don't trust us? My mother asked quietly. I met her eyes. I trust paper. Guests began collecting coats in slow, awkward motions. The party dissolved without announcement. My father opened the folder but didn't speak. The pages made a soft, deliberate sound as he turned them. The house felt different again, less celebratory, more real. I'll give you time to review, I said. If you'd rather not sign, that's okay too. We'll make other arrangements. There it was, not a threat, a boundary. I walked toward the door before anyone could shape this into an argument. Outside, the night air felt cooler than when I'd arrived. The porch lights still glowed warmly, but it no longer felt like something I was peering into from the outside. Behind me, I heard the front door open. My father stood there, folder in hand. He didn't apologize, he didn't argue. We'll read it, he said. I nodded. Driving away, I didn't feel victorious. I felt steadier, as if something invisible had finally taken form. The house still belonged to me, but more importantly, so did the decision of how I would be treated inside it.